Good evening and welcome to African Free Press Television. I am Chediko Vitasi with the news around Africa. The situation in Kogi State governorship election following the death of the governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Prince Abubakar Audu, on Sunday still remains uncertain. Audu was leading by 41,000 votes with a score of 240,867 votes ahead of the incumbent governor of Kogi State, Captain Idris Wada, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) candidate, who scored 199,514 votes. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has also declared the exercise inconclusive, saying there will be supplementary election in 91 units, a decision which senior legal experts have condemned as being simply wrong. Audu, aged 68, died in his village Obonicha Aloma in Ofu local government area following complications from a stroke. His death had since set off arguments about the future of the election. And the Director General for the National Task Force to Combat Illegal Importation of Small Arms, Ammunition and Light Weapons, NATFORCE, Dr. Emmanuel Osita Okereke, has accused the former National Security Advisor, retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki, for threatening his life. Dr. Osita Okereke said Dasuki, who served under former President Goodluck Jonathan, wanted him dead for reporting some of his activities to former President Jonathan. Dr. Osita has also thrown his weight behind the Department of State Services (DSS) for preventing Dasuki from traveling abroad. The DSS operatives have continued to lay siege on Dasuki's residence despite a court order, and Dr. Osita has advocated that anybody standing trial on criminal case should not be allowed to travel overseas under whatever guise. Meanwhile, former President of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, has dismissed as mere lies the allegations that his administration awarded contracts for arms procurement which amounted to the tune of $2 billion. Dr. Jonathan dismissed the allegation while talking at a conversational forum on presidential elections and democratic consolidation in Africa. The event was hosted by the National Democratic Institute (NDI) and the Center for Strategic and International Studies (CSIS) in Washington, D.C., the United States. Former President Jonathan also dismissed the allegation that $59.8 million was mismanaged within a 12-month period while he was in office, adding that there was no way the Nigerian budget could accommodate the loss of such amount in a year, as federal and state governments will not be able to pay salaries. The leader of the Indigenous Peoples of Biafra (IPOB), Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, has arrived at the Abuja Chief Magistrate Court to answer criminal charges brought against him by the federal government. The court had ordered the Department of State Services (DSS) to produce Mr. Kanu unfailingly before it on Monday. Kanu had earlier failed to appear in court as the prosecution counsel, Mr. Moses Itako, told the court that the IPOB leader was not brought to court because of an application challenging the jurisdiction of the court to continue the trial, which was already slated for hearing. Following the absence of the accused person, Magistrate Shuaibu Osman ordered the DSS to produce him on November 23 to enable him identify his legal team. Mr. Nnamdi Kanu is standing trial for alleged criminal conspiracy, managing and belonging to an unlawful society, and criminal intimidation contrary to sections 97 and 397 of the Penal Code. And on the African scene, the Republic of Mali has commenced 3 days of national mourning following last Friday's militant Islamist attack on a hotel in the capital, Bamako, in which at least 19 people were killed. Gunmen launched an attack on the Radisson Blu Hotel in the center of Mali's capital, Bamako. About 140 guests and 30 employees of the hotel were taken hostage. Malian and international troops stormed the Radisson Blu Hotel to free the guests and staff being held hostage. 2 of the gunmen were killed, while 3 different Islamist groups have said they carried out the attack. Investigators are yet to determine the number and nationality of the gunmen. However, a security source in Mali has said that officials believed that the 2 dead gunmen spoke English during the attack. Ahead of the 3 days of national mourning, the chairman of the West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS, Senegal's President Macky Sall, visited Bamako to show support with neighboring Mauritania and Guinea, who also joined in a show of solidarity. And Ghana's governing party, the National Democratic Congress (NDC), has voted to endorse President John Dramani Mahama's bid for a 2nd term of office at elections next year. Mahama thanked those who voted for him and defended his record in power, which has seen growth in the emerging West African nations slow down. Public debt has spiraled, and the cedi currency has also depreciated. Mahama, who stepped up from vice president after John Atta Mills died in 2012, had won a mandate at the polls, and he also went into the vote unopposed, but still had to be endorsed in line with party rules. President Mahama is also set to face his beaten 2012 opponent, Nana Akufo-Addo, who is aged 71 years, from the New Patriotic Party (NPP). And for the meantime, no date has been set yet for the election. Police in Burundi reports that 5 people have been killed in overnight clashes in the capital, Bujumbura. Burundi has descended into violence since President Pierre Nkurunziza announced in April that he would run for a 3rd term, a move which opponents have said violated the constitution. And President Nkurunziza has also gone on to win a disputed election in July. The authorities have identified those behind the unrest only as criminals, but the leader of a failed coup against Nkurunziza, General Leonard Gendakumana, said in July that force was the only way to prevent the president's 3rd term. And in the same vein, police and residents in Somalia said that a suspected drone targeted a base belonging to Al-Qaeda-affiliated Al-Shabaab insurgents in southern Somalia, which has killed 5 Al-Shabaab fighters. Al-Shabaab was not immediately reachable for comment, and whoever was behind the aerial strike was yet to be known. But the United States has in the past targeted Al-Shabaab fighters, and Al-Shabaab have staged many bomb and gun attacks in the capital, Mogadishu, in its bid to topple Somalia's Western-backed government, and have also hit targets in neighboring Kenya since Nairobi joined the African Union peacekeeping forces in Somalia. And at this point, we shall wrap it up for the news around Africa. For more details of the news, we urge you to log on to our website at www.africanfreepress.com. Like us on our Facebook page at africanfreepressforum.com. Also remember to follow our Twitter handle at African Free Press. I still remain Chediko Vitasi. Good evening.